Hi, if you're new here, welcome back. If you're new here, welcome in. If you've been with me before, welcome back. My name is Kat Venus, and this is Aphrodite Set Free. You've heard about ashwagandha, you're curious about it. There's a lot of research out there, there's a lot of influencers telling you this and that. Maybe you've done your own research and now you just want to kind of know what it's like. I'll tell you my personal experience because I took it for a while, and I'm going to tell you exactly what it was like, what it did to my body, what it felt like. And yeah, you'll hear a lot of influencers telling you like this is great to balance your hormonal system, especially around that time of the month for us ladies. And so I'm going to get into it right away. With anything you put in your body, it's going to have a different effect on you. So that's a disclaimer, of course. And I've also seen research out there that after 3 months of consecutively taking ashwagandha, that it has high evidence of producing cancer cells in the body. Is that true? Don't believe every study that you see out there. A lot of studies are being paid off. So this is why it's really important to just not trust when you look something up online. Is this safe? Is it not safe? Is it good? Is it bad? You are going to get studies that are literally paid by major companies to be biased towards the point that they want to make. For example, if a major company wants to sell alcohol, wine, right? They're going to be doing some research studies on how can it be good for your heart? How can red wine be good for your heart? And a lot of the people that they're going to be studying are going to be people of higher classes that have access to better diets and lifestyles, and so they are having better heart health because they have the luxury to have red wine every day, but they also have the luxury of safety, security, healthy eating, more relaxed state of mind overall, less stress on their body. So there's other variables. So is it the wine that's actually the good thing for the heart, or so that's an example, right? So I'm going to tell you that with ashwagandha, I don't know for sure if those studies have been tampered with the cancer cells. Maybe they want to stop people from opening up their mind and expanding their consciousness. So they have been trying to fear monger us and put in some fear towards it. I'm not sure about that, but what I can tell you is I took it for a long time, and I took it for like 5 months on and off, though it wasn't consecutive. And for 1 month I was taking it like 1 to 2 months, actually it was like 1.5 to 2 months I was taking it consecutively, but then I stopped because of that research study about the cancer cells, and it did scare me a little. So I did stop, and I didn't want to take it every day. And what happened with me in my experience? Well, there's some variables that go into me personally, so consider this. When I was taking the ashwagandha for the 1.5 months consecutively to 2 months, what happened that I noticed is I did start to awaken spiritually, but I was also meditating, and oftentimes I would not eat until like 3 p.m. in the day because that was just my schedule. And it wasn't because I was trying to do anything. It's just I was busy until 3 p.m. and I didn't feel hungry, and then when I felt hungry, I'd eat. And so what happened, and I just felt full energy, fine, whatever. And then, oh, I'm hungry, I'm gonna eat. So it would have happened to be around 3 p.m. So I was also on an empty stomach. What I noticed is that with ashwagandha, it's something that, like many mushrooms, when you're taking it every day for a while, then you start to notice the effects after like 2 or 3 weeks, but you won't notice it at first. And then your body kind of like starts to get used to what the mushroom is trying to do. I guess I don't understand how it works, but it takes like 2 to 3 weeks, and then you're going to start to notice the effects. And for me personally, I don't know if maybe I just wasn't in a good headspace at the time also, but it was in the winter time. I wasn't going outside and getting a lot of exercise in the sun. I was isolated, and so I noticed that it would make it harder for me to talk to people. Like, reality felt like it was falling apart. And when I would talk to people, and even like at parties and stuff, it would feel like you would feel detached, but not in a good way. It almost feels like ashwagandha, I would say, is more of a depressing type. I don't think that's the right way to describe it, but that's just how I'm going to describe it to you in my experience. It felt like my personality of bubbliness was more depressed feeling, and I felt more anxiety actually overall. And the anxiety was maybe from the awakening, dark night of the soul type of a thing. A lot of people, when they're awakening in their journey, sometimes there's anxiety that comes with it, because you're dying unto yourself. You're going from all that you believed was real and detaching from it on a level of, it is not real, nothing is real, you're not real. And then it's like hopelessness. What is real? What is reality? Nothing exists. And this can be very scary, but if you have strong roots and you understand what's happening, then you can continue through it and know that there is light at the end of the tunnel, and what it's part of the process and what it's leading you towards, which is becoming enlightened, which is forever going about in any circumstance throughout your day, feeling peaceful, feeling detached in a peaceful way, seeing everything is so beautiful around you, and feeling basically like you are in heaven. But some people just go straight to the heaven part. Some people go through some anxiety with the letting go. I say all of this to say, if you're not in the best mental place, if you're unstable, I wouldn't recommend ashwagandha. The thing is, everyone is different, and for you, maybe it would offer you some stability. That's why this is so hard. But because of what happened to me in my experience, I would recommend that you be wary to take it unless you're like very grounded in reality, and maybe you're eating enough. Make sure that you're eating enough food every day. Maybe don't eat it on an empty stomach, and perhaps make sure that you understand that a lot of times what we consume and everything in our life is affecting how we feel. So to not get too worried or caught up in negative feelings or feelings of anxiety or depression, because this really helps me whenever I was going through anxiety and depression. I started to do more inner work and learning about spirituality. Then I was able to, whenever anxiety and depression would come up, to recognize that there's a reason it's here, and to look at all of the factors in my life. And it was so much easier to see, oh, I just didn't get enough sleep, or I ate something that wasn't good for me, and this is now 8 hours later or 24 hours later, and I'm feeling this way, and I can connect it as to a why. And for me, that honestly makes me feel a lot better. And you're gonna have to get connected with yourself and your routine, and know yourself and your body, so that you understand where things are coming from. Because if you're not connected to your body and you start to feel bad, you're not going to look back 24 hours and notice that minor change in your day that is affecting you, or that 5 minutes ago you had that thought, or even 30 seconds ago you had a thought, you were just kind of dazing off thinking on autopilot, and you're not connecting the dots and seeing that the depression and anxiety is from that thought that you just had. And so that's why I also recommend you connect with yourself, know who you are, become stable and rooted in yourself, and become conscious of what's going on so you can look at the things in your life. And so yeah, these are my recommendations with ashwagandha, is that if you want to try it, I'm not discouraging you to. I still will probably take it from time to time. It's a mood stabilizer, right? That's kind of what it's supposed to do. If I am just sitting there and I'm meditating, and sometimes it takes like an hour, sometimes it's fast, 5 minutes, but sometimes it takes like an hour, especially if I haven't been meditating for a bit, or if I have a lot of thoughts running through my head, or stress in my life, things are happening. It might take longer, and I don't give up on myself. I give myself patience, and I sit with myself in meditation, and this actually stabilizes me and roots me and stabilizes my hormones and my mood in a way that is like nothing, no thing that you can eat can compare, no drug, medicine. I mean, those are band-aids, you guys. Like, this is not getting to the root of the issue. You're not facing yourself. You're nullifying, numbing with cutting off parts of your brain that are trying to connect these emotions. You're cutting it off so you don't have to feel. And sometimes feeling is the most healing thing to do. And instead of having to take medication for your anxiety every day the rest of your life, maybe if you face and sit with your anxiety, even a panic attack, you feel that panic attack fully, you sit with it, maybe that will allow you to be free of it and heal it in a way that medication can't touch. I'm just saying, not telling you what to do. So do what you want with that. Maybe you only want to take it during that time of the month. I personally feel so spiritually connected and peaceful during my period. It's like I'm in a constant state of presence, and it's like you're floating, and your intuition is just right there. Decision making is so easy, and everything is so clear. And so maybe if you take it during that time of the month, it will enhance that spiritual connectedness. Potentially what happens is that when you are feeling anxiety, I think from like what I've read online too, like with other people's experiences on Reddit and stuff, I've seen people say that they've felt it makes it more hard for them to socialize. They feel more anxiety and awkward around people. So if you're already like that, maybe it would enhance that. That's just something to be weary towards. And if you want to experiment it and try it out for yourself, I recommend you do, because you just never know until you try it. And so yeah, like give it a try. And if you do try it, then make sure you put on your scientist hat, your experimenter hat, and you are fully committed to paying attention to your body and the subtle signs, so that a month later you're not feeling weird and feeling like out of control about that weirdness. You can just stop and whatever, you know? And also I think what happens with ashwagandha is that it's, and this is my personal theory, that it brings up your shadows to the surface, the negative stuff you have to face. So be ready to face them, because all that stuff that you've been feeling subtly is going to come up and it's going to feel worse. So is that necessarily a bad thing though? Because when it was subtle, you didn't really notice it fully and pay that much attention to it. So what it does is this medicine allows you to face these emotions of feeling afraid head on, because if you're somebody that has trouble letting go and trusting that everything is okay, letting go of your control, staying rooted in yourself, then you're going to feel a lot of anxiety, because what it's doing is it's giving you this clarity, this sense that you don't have control, you going with the flow, and it's trying to get you into that flow state. And so what's happening is you're naturally going to be, if you're resistant towards that, you're naturally going to feel that resistance stronger and feel anxiety because of the disharmony. And so recognize that that's just something that might happen, and that's what it's just trying to tell you. And so I'm not deterring you from facing that. Maybe you should face that, and it will allow you to face your anxieties more head on in a way that you can breathe them in fully, feel them fully, face them, and release them. But that's just one idea. You don't have to do that. But I mean, hey, if you're interested in spirituality and doing that type of inner work, then that could be a super useful tool for that in that way. And that's my personal the way I feel about what ashwagandha does, how it works, how it feels. And then if you're in a peaceful state of mind, you're already kind of in that flow state, it might just enhance that for you and feel really good. So yeah, just that's everything. I hope that this video was helpful. If nothing else, I hope that you gain from this video the idea that you should not trust studies that you see online. Don't believe everything you read. Recognize that a lot of times there are agendas and there are payments happening. And so more than anything else, more than even like ingredients and trusted sources, I would trust your intuition and your body, what it's telling you, what is your gut feeling, if it's truly your intuition or fear from the ego, and meditate on it. Listen to what your body is saying. What is your heart saying? What is your gut telling you? Your body is so wise, and when you listen to her, you are listening to a deeper wisdom that cannot be replaced. This connection that you and your body have, this wisdom is so particular for you. And if you feel confused, there just might be some layers to sit with and face and let go of, so that you can have the clarity that is right in front of you, inside of you. That's it for today's video. And yeah, I hope that this was helpful. May you have an amazing rest of your day. I hope to see you in the next one. Thank you so much for joining. This has been Aphrodite Set Free.